What happens when we put those children that are such a blessing, that can bring so much joy, in the wrong place? What happens when we kind of idolize them?
Ooh, a strong word.
It is a strong word. I see so many times where we can just kind of put our kids above everything else, honestly. What happens when everything in our life as parents just begins to revolve around our children so much that they are just kind of where everything is driven? And I don't take away that we are saying your kids are not important and the care for them. That's not it at all. But I think we can kind of hit another level sometimes, parents, where, we're putting all this focus into them and lose track of some things in life that are not only should be priority for our life, but that our kids should understand as priority.
Your home, it matters. You're there to make a difference. Well, hello, nice people.
Nice people.
Welcome to Home Matters.
That sounds like a local furniture store commercial.
I meant for it to. Give a plug for Rex Maynard.
Yes.
A friend of ours, our family's friends.
That's great. Yeah. He says, hello,
he used
nice
to come on
people.
his commercial. He'd say, hello, nice people. This is Rex Maynard. I think that's what
we actually have a pastor on our
great.
staff that says that.
Yeah, we do. We sure do.
I don't know if he picked it up from Rex Maynard or not, but
may have.
Anyway, well, it is good to see
podcast
you
number 203.
To be heard by you. Yes. And I think this is great. I love our topic today.
Do you?
Yeah,
Tell
I do.
us
It's
what our topic is.
those children that God gave us.
Those children.
Those kids.
Children.
Those children that God gave us. Oh, how many of you know, man, what a blessing they are? At the same time, sometimes you're like, speak of that, we got Parenting Matters coming up like in just a few days here. So it's not too late to get signed up for Parenting Matters.
Wow.
But
it's here.
Yes. I just wanted us to take some time as we kind of go into that to think about our children and the blessing that they are, not only that God says they are, but that we recognize they are, right? I want to go to Psalm 127. We read this a lot.
I've heard that before.
You have heard this before, but I'm just going to read verse 3-5. It says, children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents in courts. So they're a heritage from the Lord, a reward from him, and like arrows in an archer's hand.
Children are sent by God. They're a blessing that they are sent into your life. And again, man, that's something, again, it maybe don't always feel that way. When you're raising.
Any of you grandparents out there and you're like, the grandparents are a blessing, but the kids about drove me crazy. No, I don't.
Wait a minute. You said the grandparents are a blessing.
Oh, the grandbabies. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the grandbabies are a blessing. Listen, your kids were a blessing too. I know there were some hard days, but man, can't they bring joy and laughter?
So much.
I mean, a lot of noise, right? Our house, we have 9 grandbabies.
We kid about this, but the reality is sometimes when you're a parent, you miss
it.
You do
Don't
miss
you?
it. I did.
Do.
I know I did. I didn't realize there were seasons that, that were just kind of tough, and, you're very busy and you're tired. But I don't think then, I don't know if it's maturity or if nobody told us or what, but, and hopefully
he grew up a little bit.
Well, hopefully somebody out there today realizes that somebody older than you is saying to you, hey, your kids are a blessing.
Yeah,
they're a gift from God. And even in times when they don't act right,
and they won't,
or maybe the thing's not going well with them, that you realize, man, God has blessed me with these kids, and I want to receive it that way. I want to live that. I want to have that attitude about it, that kind of mindset about it. And I think it's easy not to. I know for me,
so
it was.
easy not to. But I mean, these little creatures that God blesses us with. I mean, I said it already. They can bring so much joy and happiness, make you smile. But I mean, they can make you cry, make you want to scream,
make you laugh,
like all in the matter of an hour, really. But I mean, the emotions that they can bring you
when they're small, especially. We see
yes.
the innocence. Sorry,
oops, that was rough.
But again, the innocence of that is something that we. Sometimes if we're not careful, we'll miss out. I think as grandparents, that's one of the gifts that we have is we can look at it sometime. We can see them.
Well, you see it differently, I think. I think you have that hindsight, right? Yeah. You can see.
I've got our time. If you're worried about that, I can get
oh,
that.
Well.
I
was going to start it here, but
yeah,
okay.
I think that as grandparents, you see that innocence and the joy and the love and you do get the opportunity as grandparents. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have as much correction,
right,
in your tool bag
for the most part. Yeah, discipline. I know some of you may be grandparents out there raising children, right. And man, that's tough. I don't know how some of you do that. I mean, I know my energy level is not what it used to be when I'm keeping littles.
Probably if you had to do it all the time, it'd be different.
True.
But
that's true.
Again, I think now we get to, you hear that, you get to send them home with parents. And yes. I don't have to discipline them for everything.
That's
now,
right.
Again, if they're there with me and I'm the one responsible in the moment, and mom and dad's not around, again, they need that. But again, the innocence, I think you see it.
You do.
From a different place.
Yes.
The joy that they bring, I think you're much quicker to see that than you are the responsibility.
Yes.
So
they're amazing. But can we kind of flip a little bit on you here and say, what happens when we put those children that are such a blessing, that can bring so much joy, in the wrong place? That makes sense. Like, what happens when... I hate to use the word, but I'm going to throw it out there, when we kind of idolize them.
Ooh,
when
a strong word.
It is a strong word, but for lack of another one right there, I see so many times where we can just kind of put our kids above everything else, honestly. I mean, in our last podcast, we talked about more than anything. What are the more than anythings? What are the things that should be priority? And we kind of threw that list out there. But what happens when everything in our life as parents just begins to revolve around our children so much that they are just kind of where everything is driven? And I know what some of you are thinking, like, at a certain age, does everything not revolve around them? And to answer that there are things in your life that have to, adjust to that season and revolve around them. But I'm just saying, when we put them in a place that they really kind of become something more, help me out with my words right there without using that hard word.
Well, again, it does come back to, children, again, they are a blessing, but so is the food on our table, so is the vehicle we may drive, all of that. And again, I think that if all your time and energy is to put into those things, right, it'd be a little more obvious if all of our time and our energy and our resources. I think that with children, again, you use the word idle. I think there are a lot of times that if we're not careful, we get caught in places where all of our time and our energy and our resource poured into our children.
Yeah.
And then that
it can take everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that kind of, what's the right word I'm looking for now? We're guessing words here, but that type of kind of fixation.
Yeah. On that.
Yeah. On our children and making sure they have it all and they,
yes,
they get it all and everything comes their way. And if you're not careful, I think that can lead into places of dangerous
I think
living.
so many times though we don't even see it, like it's kind of masked, if you will, with that. We're just loving them deeply. We just want the best for them. We want them to have all the things. We want them to have the things that I didn't have when I was growing up. I mean, I hear those phrases, and don't take away that we are or saying your kids are not important and the care for them. That's not it at all. But I think we can kind of hit another level sometimes, parents, where, we're putting all this focus into them and lose track of some things in life that are not only should be priority for our life, but that our kids should understand as priority.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, if we're doing that, if we're kind of putting them in a place that they're really not meant to be, maybe even idolizing them, I just want us to look at maybe some places where we can see that happening. And I think one of those is kind of this is a tough podcast. I feel like this might be a tough place to start, but I think
it just keep getting tougher.
It keeps getting harder. Right. I think we can idolize children sometimes before we even have them. That maybe it's a desire to have children. Maybe we haven't been able to have children. We haven't seen that come to pass yet. And that rules everything about our thoughts, our actions. Even sometimes I've seen our perception of God, so that it just kind of rules us so that we're pretty much discontent with anything else until that happens, until we have a child.
Yeah, you're saying that before we have children, that desire can overtake us if we're not careful.
Yeah.
We become so fixated on that.
Right.
And they become so much the center of everything we build our life around.
Right.
That, here's the reality. I think when somebody gets things out of line that way, I think that's when really we can lead our kids wrongly when they do show up. Because, again, if everything has revolved around them before they get here,
it's absolutely going to once
they get here, again, everything's going to revolve around them. They're the center of it all. Mm-hmm. And, we sing that song sometime, you're the center of it all. And Jesus should be, Lord should be. But again, I think that it's easy to make them the center of our life, the center of the world.
Yes.
I've known kids.
That's not doing them any good.
No, I've watched kids that they're treated like, they are the center of
everything,
the hemisphere, and everything revolves around them. And that usually is not healthy.
It's not healthy. No, not for the couple and not for the child, not for the children. It's not healthy for your marriage. And so we're not saying that you shouldn't desire children. I believe you should desire to raise children in a godly home and have that desire, but that cannot come to a place where it's almost more important than anything else to do that. What about this? I think many times we can idolize our kids by just trying to live our life through them. Maybe the things that, we did not accomplish, we had planned to accomplish, but we never maybe made it. And so now, by golly, my kid's going to do this.
You think moms or dads are worse with that?
Oh, I think it's pretty even. Depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about sports most of the time, dad didn't make it to the NFL, so his kid absolutely will. Mm-hmm. And for moms, it's, I didn't win the beauty pageant, but she will. I wasn't the head cheerleader, but she will be, or the dancer, or, whatever. Or maybe it's sports for the mom, maybe it's, softball, basketball, soccer, whatever. But it's just that our whole, and I'm kind of pulling two things together here, our identity as, as adults can be wrapped up in what our children are accomplishing. And if we're doing that, then that's really where idolizing our kids and pushing them into places of, that they're just not intended to be or to have to function at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But I think the key to that is your desire versus their desire. Your passions versus their passions.
I mean, they might not like sports at all, right?
Yeah, I think that
we
love and we nurture our children.
Yes.
And the knowledge and the love of the Lord. And in that, I think that we give them room, it's that thing of kind of micromanaging everything in their life. And we try to direct what they should do or what should be important.
Right.
And if we're not careful, I think that what we're doing is driving our passions
absolutely
via our children.
Through them. Yeah.
And again, you got to let them discover what things they're passionate about. You said that about the NFL a little while ago. We had our son, he actually, he had the opportunity to play in the NFL. Didn't quite make it to the big time, but again, he had that opportunity. But he had to do that on his own. Mm-hmm. I was thrilled that I enjoyed it, enjoyed that season of our life. Mm-hmm. Loved watching him play. But at the same time, he had to have that drive.
Right.
He had to have the passion to compete, to train. There's so much work
that goes in, that. Right?
And again, even the decisions that he made, along the way. And what you're saying, I think, is if we're not careful, it'll be my passion that I'm trying to force.
That's so true.
Into action in his life, and that will not last.
No,
it will not last.
It won't. And the fact that so many times parents, I think our identity can just get caught up into what our kids are accomplishing, so that we look, well, our kid made straight A's and they're in the beta club and now they're in honor society, and so that makes me a good parent. Or they won this particular award, or, they were very accomplished in this. And so that makes us a good parent.
Is that good, though?
Is it good that they did those things?
Yeah,
absolutely, it's good. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just the fact that if that.
Yeah, and if you're hanging your hat on their accomplishments, and I think that's their.
And man, the pressure it puts on a child.
Yeah.
What happens when they don't make the grade? What happens when they didn't win the contest? Then, that, what does that make them feel like when they understand that our identity's wrapped up in that? Yeah. I mean, there's so many things. I think always comparing our kids to our other children in our own family and to other kids out there.
You're saying that is idolizing, like?
I think it very much can be. Yeah, when we just...
Help me understand it a little bit.
Well, I think we put unrealistic expectations on them. Again, it's just the pressure of that. It's the pressure that, they have to meet this goal, or they have to... That everything's wrapped up in that.
These standards maybe are standards that are not according to their giftings or abilities. That's what you say. And again, if we treat them in that way, then we're trying to, again, make our children something. We're trying to set them up.
Right.
And make them stand. It's kind of like propping up a God. We prop up a God and try to make it stand.
Yes.
And, anything aside from him, he told us, you use the word idolizing. Anything is, he told us not to have any idols, any images before him. But the fact is I think that with that, if we're not careful, we can have these standards that we try to hold out in front of our children. I think that when we begin to live that way, and we're always measuring them by somebody else.
Yes, by others.
And again, we raised 4.
Well, one of ours was the valedictorian of her class, and we were actually texting me and my girls the other day, but they were laughing like, yeah, I wasn't, or yeah, he wasn't, and we were more the socialite or whatever. And, that was probably true for some of them. That one of them said, I really hated school. I just went, for the friends. But if we had always said, okay, well, your sister was valedictorian, so what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, what you're saying with that, though, the way we started is talking about, hey, if you're not careful, you're
putting them in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're putting them in the wrong place. The priority of your life is in making them something that really they're not.
Right.
But it's really based on competition. It's based on comparison. You're always trying to press them into a mold. Is that the right way to say it?
Into a mold
that maybe is not their mold.
Maybe God did not create them for. Everybody's not supposed to be the valedictorian. Now, we're supposed to do the best we can, right? But I can't press one into a mold that's not meant for them.
Yeah.
I think there's another that I thought about that really
What was the other one
it
you
might
thought
get us
about?
a little in trouble right here.
Tell us.
It's
I like trouble.
do you? Okay. I think sometimes we see parents that just get so consumed with what they would say is caring for their child or protecting their child. I like to refer to them as, and you hear it sometimes in society, the helicopter parent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like their goal in life is just to make sure that, they're protected from everything, from real life, that they're dependent on us. They need us.
They keep them shiny.
Keep them shiny.
Yeah. Keep them shiny and safe.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Shiny and safe.
Yeah. Don't want any dirt on them, or don't want them to have to go through any kind of difficulties.
Yeah. I think sometimes that makes the parent feel needed.
That's in the name of protection, usually, I would think.
Yes.
But, there are difficulties that kids have to grow through. And I
They
think
better be able to grow through them as
Yeah, we
kids.
definitely are.
Because when they get 30,
Making again, get us in trouble. But I think that a lot of times today, we are so overly, and again, we're not saying you shouldn't protect them, but again, you're overly protective to the point that if you're not careful, they don't know how to deal with life themselves.
Exactly.
And that's the reason we got 35-year-old men still living in mom's basement, is because nobody made them take responsibility or work through a difficult situation.
Right.
Or, young ladies that are, dependent on somebody else, keep them up because, they didn't have to go through those seasons of growth.
Right.
Listen, resistance in life will teach you. So again, you don't want to guard, you don't want to idolize your children and protect them to such a degree that they never have to get their hands dirty, so to speak.
Right. They never have to do the hard things. And you're not helping your child by never allowing them to do the hard things.
Yeah. Go through.
And I think so many times we just kind
Times of
of,
resistance.
again, I use this word, but we kind of mask that as, I'm just protecting them. I'm just taking care of them. If you're protecting and taking care of them when they're 2, that's legit. If we're still doing that when they're 13, you say 13, that's young. No, there's some things your 13-year-old needs to be able to figure out, need to deal with. They need to be able to deal with their little drama things they're having at school without us showing up at the school or calling the other mama and getting involved.
Go Old Testament here. You couldn't say Abraham protected Isaac.
Oh.
Couldn't say Hannah protected Samuel. You couldn't say that.
No, they trusted God.
Yeah, they trusted God with their children. And again, that's the reason He is God.
Yes.
There's nothing else before Him.
Man, I can get emotional about that. Just trust in the Lord. Man, with your kids, I think you have to just come to the place where you say, God, you blessed us with them. We're going to do the best we can, but we will not put our children in a place that you didn't intend for them to be. Here's the bottom line.
Lead them, guide them.
Yeah, direct them every way we can.
Yeah, every way we can.
But, the bottom line is God cares for your kids more than you do.
That's good.
And a lot of times we think, nobody loves my kid like I do. Yeah, somebody does, and it's God.
That's
and
good.
if we will allow Him, place and position in their life, lead, love, discipline, train them up, you'll see that God is enough to take care of them and us. Yep. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Again, it is kind of a tough subject, or
it is. It is.
But again, if you're parenting out there, your parenting matters.
That's so true.
It's not for cowards. Somebody said it's not easy.
That's right. Never easy.
With God's grace and mercy in your life,
give them to Him. Let Him help you lead them,
godly,
right?
healthy parent.
Yes.
Yep. Hey, can't wait to see you next time. Always remember, before we do talk to you again, always remember this.
Your home matters.
See you next time.